Hey, I'm Nathan with F&M. I'm here at Garment Creations in Levittown, PA with Erastus. I'm going to answer the biggest question on YouTube about our company, F&M. Why 15 cents? Can I trust a 15-cent transfer? Is it inferior quality? Is it not as good? What are they taking out to get the price down to 15 cents? How can this be a good deal or not? So I want to answer that question. And first I'll say we have thousands of customers who are using that program to be successful. And we've been printing since 1981. We've actually been screen printing these transfers. Really, the athletic formula, we developed that in the 2000s. And it's the same print formula that we use in the 15-cent deal. So we were producing this in gang sheet format at a higher price for years before we started offering the single image 15-cent deal. And really, it was a mind shift for us as a business to think about how do we not just compete with other transfer companies by looking at what other transfer companies do and copy the same pricing model and offer the same thing, but how do we get in our customers' shoes and expand our thinking to not just transfer decoration, but all of garment decoration. So on projects where they cut and weed vinyl, that's good for one-off personalization. But when you start doing a dozen, 24, 36, it gets tedious weeding vinyl. It gets tired. And so how can we lower our minimums and drive that down? And then we started thinking about, well, a lot of our customers are screen printing some of these small orders, or screen printing orders, or they're using a contract screen printer or outsourcing their screen printing. And they have the overhead of screen printing, and it's hard to keep that screen printing operation busy the whole year round. So they're either have more to print than they can handle, or they don't have demand and they are paying their staff to sit around and wait for orders to come in. And so we wanted transfers to be more of a complete solution. So we started thinking about how do we reduce the cost of the components that go in to really drive the cost, which is the setup. And so we invested really starting in 2006 and on heavily into technology. So in automating our screen making process. So we're making hundreds of screens every shift, running 24 hours a day, but we're doing that in an automated fashion. So we put a dirty screen into our equipment with ink on it and the image from the last job, and we're reclaiming that whole thing. So I invited Erastus to come down to our facility to actually get a personal tour. If you want to come to Gordonsville, Virginia, I don't know how many people are in the area or traveling through, we'd love to have you. You can see some history, and then we'd love to give you a tour of our facility, because we'd love to show you what the investments that we made in the technology to actually drive down the cost of setting up the screen print. We have professional equipment that's designed to produce wide runs that are high volume. So we're designed to print big volume runs, and that's how our business was built in the 80s and the 90s. And the market really shifted to smaller quantity, quicker turn runs. So how do we shift our equipment and our thinking to be able to reduce the setups, lower the minimums, and get the turnaround time down from being a 3-week turn time to where it was when I started in this business 13 years ago to now we're shipping most things in 24 hours. The 15-cent deal ships in 24 hours. So how do we turn it that fast? And it was really investment in technology. How do we make screens quickly? How do we get in and out of screens? And how do we process the orders through automation? So we have a team of software developers as part of the business that helps us automate a lot of our art processing functions and getting jobs onto screen, onto press, and off of press quickly so that we can change the economics of what it costs to produce a heat transfer. So we can offer a 15-cent program with no minimum that ships the next day. And it's the same athletic formula. We've just taken cost out of the process by eliminating steps in that process, but not eliminating any of the ingredients. It's still the same plastisol ink. It's still the same adhesion system. It's still the same paper that we've always used. It's just we've gotten our process more refined, and we don't touch the job as many times in processing the art, in getting the order set up. We've gotten way more efficient at routing our jobs through our process. And again, I'd love to see you come for a tour to check that out so you can see firsthand how it works. And it's the same product, whether you're ordering the gang sheet or the 15-cent program. It just happens to be the single image deal has a really competitive price. And what we really want to do is give our customers an opportunity to win business. And at that price point, if you think of a $25 setup and 15 cents a piece, you can decorate 100 shirts for $40, right? So 100 shirts. So all in, average your setup cost in there, that's 40 cents a shirt. If you can buy a Gildan 2,000, go down to 5,000. If you're in the $2, $2.50 range, or if you even go to a nicer shirt, let's say it's $4, you only have 40 cents in the cost of that application. It takes 7 seconds to apply it. So now a small business can go out there and really compete with the big boys, and you have inventory flexibility. So the thing that we've loved about transfers from the beginning, I'm a second generation decorator, so I'm in this business because my father started a screen print shop in my hometown. He had a store in our hometown, and really used transfers in the 80s, actually the 70s, as a way to be really flexible for his customers. So he could go to the local restaurant and say, hey, you have staff? Great, I'm going to make staff shirts, print transfers, have those transfers on hand, and anytime you have more staff hired, you have changeover, you need more smalls, you need more larges, I can swing by and knock those out no problem. And he had transfers on hand to be able to do that decoration. So we like that flexibility. And now with the advent of the internet, right, you can sell with e-commerce sites. So we have customers that are setting up team stores for the local high school. They have a team store set up, and they got one graphic or two graphics, three graphics that they're holding transfers on, but they're mocking it up on a bunch of different products. They're putting it available on a team store for sale, and then their customer can go on to their Shopify store or whatever their e-commerce channel they're selling through, and they can actually order a product that's competitively priced. It can be fulfilled that day or in a couple of days, and they can get a quality made product, and they can be selling in the way their customer wants to buy today, which is to go online, swipe up, hit it, and buy right from their phone. And so we're seeing a rise in e-commerce as these community decorators, those who are servicing the teams and schools, are moving on to the internet and selling to their local customer through Shopify and other platforms like that. And we're also seeing those customers branch out, who get involved in a certain niche. There's a demographic that they understand, and they create content for that demo. And with the ability to market through Facebook and Instagram, they're able to make a design, list it up, push it out to Amazon, push it to Etsy or whatever marketplace they want to sell in. And they're not holding printed inventory. They're not holding a t-shirt that costs $2 plus the print. They're just holding the print. They got 100 transfers, they got 40 cents in each one of those. And so whether a customer orders a small, a large, a medium, the red, the black, they can list all those options online and then press on demand as those orders come in. And so our whole drive in driving the cost down was really to disrupt the model of pre-printing all this inventory and having that inventory held hostage in like the old retail environment, when really you want to have the print available to you and put it on whatever garment the customer happens to want at that time, do that decoration just in time, and then lower your inventory and be really, really flexible in how you respond to demand from your customer. So you can take that same shirt or same design, and in the season you put it on a tank top or you put it on a t-shirt. Now when the fall rolls around, you can put it on a hoodie and decorate that hoodie, and you got that flexibility. So it's really about leveraging what a transfer can do, was the thinking behind driving towards the 15-cent program. And we really wanted to move away from the idea of, we still have gang sheets. You can still order that way if you want to. There's no penalty to ordering a gang sheet. There's no setup. You lay whatever you want out in there. We just thought it was sort of an extra step that our customer had to go through to figure out a layout, right? They have a design, they want to put it on a shirt. Why not just let them order that design and make that really seamless and easy and give them a low cost to do that, rather than making them figure out what can fit within what space to make the shirt or the sheet maximize. If you want to do that, you're welcome to do that, but we're trying to find efficiencies for our customers so they can spend less time figuring out how to order from us and more time figuring out how they can go get the next sale from their customer, right? And that's ultimately how this model works, right? We succeed when you succeed with your customer.